Hello everybody, this is QuixQuery, and today we are back playing the QuixPack, and I want to talk about a few things, and right now we're just around here mining in the nether and stuff, and I figured we could talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on in with the channel, etc. Wait, hold up. Oh man, I gotta get out of here. Whew. Man, that had bad news written all over it. Seriously though, I do want to talk a little bit about the videos and the video structure, because I'm gonna be trying something different, and you may have noticed at the beginning of this episode that there was no intro, and that is because we are going to be switching things up a little bit and making it so that instead of using an intro, we're going to do an outro instead with potential other videos or, cards and other stuff like that. It'll just be a short little outro, and it won't be too, in your face or uber loud like I know a lot of other videos do. They oftentimes will make their outro music so loud that it's like twice as loud as the rest of the video, and I think that that's kind of dumb, but anyway, we will be doing outros now instead of intros, and as, cinematic type things, and I kind of want to add a few sound effects into different episodes and stuff like that. They'll be kind of obvious, like this one, and this one, but, they'll just be kind of added in here and there depending on what's going on. But here we are. I've done a little bit of work between episodes, but anyway, you might have also seen that I've been trying to make things a little more funny and interesting during all of the episodes with, say, the funny introductions that we've been doing in the past few, with all of the puns and other stupid jokes like that, just dumb things that I found pretty funny. And so this is what it looks like from up here, and this is kind of like a Space Needle style thing, and on the top we'll have another plateau that will have some plants and stuff on top. At least that's the plan right now. And so this is what the area looks like right now. We'll have walls coming along like right here, and then we will have, let's sort out our inventory right here. I wanted to try these out for a potential floor. Maybe not in this area specifically, but inside here. And I'm not entirely sure what we want to do with the floor, but I know I want to have it at this level. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I know about what we're doing so far. It's pretty, kind of take it as we go along and stuff like that. But I'm planning on adding more glass and stuff like that. This is actually glax from X-tones, and so you just make the regular X-tone tiles and you can chisel them into glax. Glaxx, you can see it on the thing in the upper left corner, but yeah, anyway, it's yeah, so this is probably what we want to do, and then we'll have cables running underneath right here. And I'm not entirely sure, again, I'm just kind of taking this as things come and stuff like that, and different things will pop up here and there, and yeah, not entirely sure how everything's gonna go, but probably be a lot of adjustments going on throughout all of this stuff, but I just wanted to give you kind of an overview of what's going on so far and what things look like. And obviously we'll need some proper lighting, not only here, but down in the area down below. We'll need some proper lighting here. It's starting to get a little dark and gloomy with all the stuff being, overshadowing everything. But this is what it looks like so far, and it looks pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with it so far. So we'll just have to see what it looks like in the end. And so this, honestly, from a little while a ways away, it kind of looks like a mushroom explosion, which is like, mushroom cloud, atomic bomb type, massive explosion. But, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a Space Needle-y type build, if that makes sense. And I kind of like it like that. It looks pretty cool and it's quite an interesting building, if that makes sense. And that's what I was going for, something interesting. And so we have successfully achieved that, I believe. See now, but there aren't a lot of colors going on right now, and that is something that's going to be kind of interesting to mix in, because we're going to have cables and stuff going along the floor here. And while initially I wasn't planning on having cables be visible, I might end up doing that, at least for the beginning right here. But we'll just have to see how all of this goes. So I'm just going to be putting the floor in and doing some other things like this. Let's actually move this back one to make it kind of anchored to the wall on these corners and stuff right here, just to make it a little more believable as far as all of the stuff going on, because it'll be, other than that, if it isn't connected right there, it would just be kind of floating, other than the walkways that it's coming out of the wall from. And so, anyway, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a progress update, what was going on, and things like that. And so, yeah. So the plan for how we're going to lay stuff out inside this area, over here we want to have our main storage access. And so we're going to have, like, our basic crafting grid right here with a furnace and some other stuff that are set up around here. And now over here we're going to have our other crafting utilities, stuff that's, lesser used, like an imbuing station, atomic reconstructor, the resonator from extra utilities too, and, whatever other things that we might want to include in our crafting utilities. Over here we're going to have our ore processing send station, and we're not actually going to have all our ore processing here, because that's a lot of machines to fit in a very tiny, a lot of machines and automation to fit in a very tiny space, and, keeping that all neat. Plus it could be cool to set up some sort of, whatever other factory over there, or something like that, and potentially send out some sort of pipe or something from the underground and stuff like that. But that's what this is. And potentially other things too, because, just having one branch for the ore processing send station, it's not going to take up that much space. It's just going to be kind of like a chest type thing with and so there are potentially going to be other things here, but that's the main plan for this area. Now, over here, we're going to have a teleport station, which means we're going to have all of our teleportation stuff, including a teleport to the Nether, and to a lot of other different spots that we want to go to. And they'll just be automatically set up and stuff like that. And so we're probably going to be using the mechanism teleporters, but we'll just have to see when time comes around what sorts of teleportation options we are going to be using. And so, yeah, that's what that's for. Now, up on the roof, we'll have some of our more bulky things that that take up a little more space, but are still nice to have around, such as this bad boy right here, the Empowerer, as well as some, farms and other things like that. Yeah, so that's what I have planned so far. This is the reason I decided this was going to be my main storage access thing. Is because I'm probably going to be using this branch more often than any of the other ones, and I want to make this mountain look quite nice and add, like, paths and a lot of other different stuff going on around there. That's going to be a lot of fun to work with, or at least that's the idea. And so we want to have some fun with this mountain. and potentially build like, a boat racing course on the way down or something like that. And yeah, but that is the plan for this area. Now we want there to be power coming in and around this area in the form of a power cable, so everything around here can get power. I don't actually think that our main storage system is going to require a lot of power. Actually, on second thought, there will be some importing required from some of the automation and stuff like that. Like, say, I want most of the machines and stuff to have to automatically go into our main storage access. And so instead of having to send stuff to the ore processing station and then it end up back in a different chest right back over here, we can just send it right back into the storage system for us to be ready to use. So yeah, good stuff. And the cables will be underneath, and as far as other sorts of floors and stuff go, for the moment we're just going to keep it open like this for ease of working around everywhere and accessing this lower portion right here. And then maybe once we start to finish things up, we might polish it up a little more and some other things like that. Obviously, we will need a wall right here and a ceiling and finish off the glass stuff right there, as well as making the in-between buildings thing a little more like an actual tunnel between the two instead of just being a standalone platform that's barely even connected to anything. And so, obviously still a lot of building to do, but we have gotten quite a bit of stuff done so far. And so, I'm very pleased with what we have done. And so, I'm going to make up a lot of the stuff to get our main storage system up and running. And, yeah, get back to you when I'm ready to put it all together. Here we go. So our main storage access point right here, you can see we have a request table, our network core, and we have a bunch of medium storage crates down here. Now let's go below here just to see what's going on. We don't have a network storage device for this area quite yet. Actually, we should probably do this a little bit. We could probably do this a little bit nicer, and then once we're ready for the network storage device right there, we can just mine that cable up and replace it with something else, and we can have storage crates going along all of here. And each of these has not only the regular storage crate page, but 2 of them. And so, yeah. And eventually, those will be upgraded to large storage crates, and we have quite a few more storage crates as well, and we can use those to upgrade to the medium storage crate, if that makes sense, as well as using the medium storage crates to upgrade to the large ones. However, we're running a little short on coal, and I haven't gone around to processing that or yet, making and processing the ore. Actually, you know what? I haven't showed that off yet, so we haven't used any of our essences for hardly anything. So let's get a bunch of stone essence. We should only need 1 stack or something like that. Actually, let's get a couple coal, a couple stone, and go up to a crafting table right here. And so now all we need to do is to put these in the corners and these like so. And that gives us coal ore, 4 per craft. And so it requires a little more coal essence than stone essence, but you will also be using stone essence for all the other ores as well. And I believe the best way to process this is in an enrichment chamber, so make sure we only have 4 energy upgrades, so let's take some energy upgrades out of here, just to make sure that we're getting the most out of this, out of our power for the moment being. And we're not actually struggling on power right now. We're actually doing quite well, but yeah. It turns out that the storage system down there only needs power when it's importing, and so yeah, that's good. It's very, very good. And so this will give us 2 coal per if I remember correctly. And that's pretty much the best way you can process it, is getting 2 coal per craft. And so this will get us quite a bit more coal as far as that goes. And that's pretty much how you use all the essences. And so if we look at essence, if we look at, say, like tin essence, that's how you use tin essence. You use it to make tin ore. It's pretty simple. Quartz essence, well, there are a couple other crafting recipes occasionally, but you can see this one actually requires nether essence because it's a nether ore, so that's pretty cool too. Currently we don't have recipes for the nether ore form of things, but I don't know if we want to add most of that, except for the coal. Coal has its own thing, and it turns into pre-processed nether coal ore when you do that, and so that's the best way of getting nether coal. And so yeah, pretty simple. Glowstone, glowstone essence apparently does not have a use currently, which is a problem I'll have to get on top of. But redstone ore, you can see right there. Obsidian, that gives you 8 obsidian for 8 essence, and the gold, you know, so on and so forth. That's pretty much how you use it for everything. Osmium essence is used in a few more things, like the extreme crafting and the seed crafting, if I remember correctly. No, well, you can't use it in the seed crafting, of course. Not sure what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's how you use the essences here, and so pretty simple to do. Some of the stuff like water essence is actually supposed to be a convenience item, and it's supposed to be able to be used to replace a water bucket in pretty much any recipe that you can come in contact with. The raw clay actually has an in-world crafting recipe where that is supposed to turn it into clay. You put it next to a water source and it will turn into clay. But I made it so that the water essence will allow you to do that. It's really just a convenience thing, and it makes a lot of things a lot easier to craft, because otherwise the recipe for super lubricant ice requires a water bucket each and every time, and water essence just makes that a lot easier to deal with. And so you can pretty much replace a water bucket in almost every single recipe that water buckets would have otherwise been used in, and it should work. Now, fire essence can make buckets of lava, craft your buckets into buckets of lava, but is not necessarily usable specifically for a lava. And we need a couple other things to use fire essence for, honestly, but those are some things I need to put onto my note list on the pack Discord. But so our storage system up here should be actually functional right now, and so if we put in stuff like this, everything is showing up. And so I think I'm gonna move all of our valuables up to there, and get right back to you. So we have moved a good chunk of items up into this thing, including all of our tools, a good chunk of our other stuff, and things like that, as well as our valuables. And so you can see we haven't even filled up a whole double medium-sized storage crate yet, and that is amazing. So, you know, we haven't worked on any of those yet, and we haven't actually transferred all of our things from the storage over here for, I'm not exactly sure why reason, but you can see that things are coming along rather nicely, and we have plenty of storage up there and stuff like that. So I want to start work on getting some of our other machines up here, but first we're going to talk about something that has to do with this network. Now this network, the storage network, can not only provide a nice and convenient storage solution, but it can also significantly help reduce your cable mess. And how is that, you may ask? Well, let me explain, and it is actually in the quest book right here. Under storage, we can see right down here we have our storage network quests, and right here we have our energy network quest. Now, what this thing can do is it can essentially allows the storage network to act as a RF storage, which is magnificent, absolutely magnificent in, all ways, shapes, and forms. If we look at energy, so this right here, it can actually interact with all the different types of energy in the pack, as far as I'm aware. It can interact with the mechanism energy cubes, it can interact with the actually additions things, it can interact with the Woot factory. And currently, it is the only known means of powering the Woot factory. However, I have a sneaky suspicion that the Energizer or Innervator would work. Which one is it? Right here? Yes, this one right here. The Innervator. I do believe the Innervator would actually work as a power source for the Woot factory if you wanted to try that. But that is the only confirmed way of powering the Woot factory. And so that can help reduce the cable mess down below significantly, because you don't need to run a power cable and a storage cable around everywhere, so that you can import things into your storage network and keep them all powered. You can just run around a storage network cable and have a spot where you store your RF in RF storage units. And so, such as the energy cubes right here. They're magnificent. Not to mention, the induction cells can also hold larger amounts, significantly larger amounts of RF in a little bit larger area than just one space of stuff. But we want to get some of our stuff up here, like, say, for example, the enrichment chamber. So let's grab our enrichment chamber right here. Awesome. And this is one of our more used devices, and so we're going to plop it down. For the moment, we're just going to plop it down right here, but we will probably move it around just depending on what we want to do and stuff like that. Let's sleep here real quick. And now we'll also want a furnace up here and some sort of crusher or grinder or something like that, just to make sure that we have most of our basic bases covered. Now, I'm not sure what other machines we're going to use an absolute ton, other than the enrichment chamber, the furnace, and the crusher. But I know we will use other ones. Maybe some sort of charging station would probably be pretty good, so like an energizer or something like that.
Okay, so here is our energized smelter, and inside are all of the speed upgrades that we can hold, and all of the energy upgrades we can hold, and 4 of the speed upgrades. There we go. And so we want to provide these with power, correct? And then import out of the bottom. You can see this is an import device. And so we'll need another import device for over here. But for the moment, we want to work on making sure that these things have power. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make some network energy interfaces. Let's just make 3 of those. Grab some cables. That gives us the energy network quest, which under storage right there, that gives us extra ones as well, which is awesome. And then importer is a task now too. Okay, we'll get around to that, but on the back of these, we want to put energy in interfaces. And we want to only insert energy into here, which is outputting it from the network. And so if we look at right here, it will only be extracted from the network to be put into each of these. And so we will set those like so, and then we want a some sort of a storage device, such as a basic energy cube. And so if we look at basic energy cube, actually, you know what? It would probably be a better idea if we were to just take this, except for the fact that we have this going down there. Because we still need power for the machines down there. You know what? Why don't we make another innervator so that we can have our put our batteries up there as well, and also make a energy cube. Okay, so we have made up our innervator right here and our energy cube as well. And we also put an import device on the bottom right here, you know, just a simple little thing. And for the sake of keeping things uniform, we have on the back of here, we have our energy device, and this we want only stuff to be inserted into the network via the innervator right here. And now we also want some extra storage, right? And so we have our basic energy cube right here, which we will put like so, and that should be set to insert and extract. And if we need to add an additional energy device to this, that might be a necessary component. You never know with things like this. Because side config well, yeah, right now it's empty, but we want to start moving most of our energy up into this. And so let's go get some of our batteries that are lying around here. This is one of the spots, and it is actually just potentially in line. Yeah, no, it's still in line with the sun. That's awesome. So let's grab this battery and head up to right here, put it in our innervator, and hopefully it should start inserting power into here. It is not. However, it has inserted power into the system. Okay, that seems to be working. The energized smelter has all of its power. The enrichment chamber has all of its power. The battery is not going down because the importers are not running currently. And, however, this is not working properly, which is fine. We just need to readjust how we want to do this. And so right here, we're going to have a side where we will put the power out, in. We'll come in from the left and out from the right, just because that's the way we read. So we want to look at our side config, in from the left, out from the right, and I hope that works. It does appear to be working, so that should be good then. Now it should just drain this double battery, putting it all into the energy cube right here. And this is just our kind of a backup storage for the moment being. Yep, and things seems to be going well. And so now we should have a pretty good system set up right here where we can smelt stuff, enrich stuff, and, you know, all of the other stuff like that. We might put a metallurgic infuser up here just for, you know, the sake of doing that, because metallurgic infusers are actually quite nice to have around. But we will get around to that at some point. And it is capped out now. Quite nice. Yeah, this is a full energy cube, and that is exactly what we wanted from this. So, mission success. So I decided that to end this episode off, we would start finishing up this room a little bit more, add in a bit more glax and some other stuff like that, but mostly this portion right here. And this is, I think, what I want it to look like. We might change this outline around a little bit more or something like that. I honestly don't know exactly what I want it to look like. This is actually looking pretty good in my opinion. Now, why haven't we introduced any colors into this build yet? I honestly don't know. It just hasn't felt like the right thing to do. Introduce a color yet. We'll definitely put some green up at the top, that's for sure, with like some trees and other stuff like that. But for the moment, this is what we have as far as what this looks like, and it actually, honestly, turned out pretty well in my opinion. We have this little transition area, and then we have this like expandable out section with this like folded up type thing right here, I guess, with the ceiling lights and stuff like that. I don't know. Anyway, but it looks pretty cool to me, at least. And so we'll see whether it stays or not, whether it gets changed or anything like that. But there was the comment of the day is the comment of the day. The comment of the episode is currently there are not very many comments on the last episode, and so make sure to comment. Gets you, you could be comment of the episode pretty easily. It's a pretty easy thing to do right now. There are very few comments. And so I'm going to try not to do too many repeats as far as stuff like this. The comment of the episode is first because, well, it's the only real comment right now, other than one by Kylo Crux, who I've already talked about a little bit. And what do I think about people commenting first on my videos? I honestly don't mind it. I think it is kind of a compliment in a way, saying, hey, I like your videos enough that I will get on there and comment first and try and be the first one to see them. And that's pretty cool. Pretty cool, thought to me. And so I don't mind them too much. They're not my favorite comments in the world. My favorite comments are the ones that are the most creative and stuff like that. Funny comments or, other stuff like that. Those are the ones I like. But anyway, I figured I would end off the episode like that. And thank you so much for watching. I'm QuixQuery, and I will see you in another episode coming soon. And I will see you around. Bye.